Whoa! Wait a second. Quantum Drive is not going to be automatic. Star Citizen community. Hi guys, how are you? Been a long time. Weirdly enough, I don't think I've done a Star Citizen video in probably a month or so, but there actually hasn't been a lot of content, not a whole lot of content released since then. I think ATV and RTV are on hiatus between seasons, right? Hey, c'est la vie. There is some content, so I just kind of caught up on it. I've been away for a while doing wintry things. Winter came. But I just caught up on all the Star Citizen content that I missed, and I had a bunch of questions for you guys. Maybe not a bunch, but probably about 15, give or take. Happy Hour. Wow. I read through the comments on that, the first Happy Hour video, and the community did not like that. Like, it almost has more dislikes than likes. Like, there was a lot, it was a pretty divisive, it looked like it was a pretty divisive piece of content. So in general, I think the consensus around the comments was everyone's looking for updates, and development and stuff like that. So leave the streaming of the gameplay to the community members. So I think that was kind of maybe the consensus. To be fair though, like the community, they did invite Test Squadron, what was his name, Meyer, to play with them, right? So I mean, it is kind of if you think about it, it is interfacing with the community, right? So it's a pretty good opportunity to kind of get first-hand feedback from active players. But I don't know. I guess my question is, is this a replacement or is this complementary content, right? Are we losing any other content because of this? Does it hurt anything? It is. I wasn't the biggest fan of it either, but I mean, there was some talk kind of when it gets into it a little bit. I think like at the 20-minute mark or something. There's a little bit of some of the developers come in and they kind of talk back and forth on certain things, but I don't know. It's just very disjointed, right? So you only get kind of limited bits of. I'm kind of curious what your guys' thoughts were on it. Are you guys for or against it, or it really kind of doesn't matter? Because it really did seem that a lot of community members were kind of pissed off about it. We had Mark talking about some bugs in the latest Bug Smashers episode. The only thing I want to kind of note on that is it's really kind of cool to see, and there was actually a comment to this effect. It's really kind of cool to see that they're developing everything to kind of support weird offset kind of one-off monitor resolutions. It's really kind of they're kind of catering to that, so that's appreciated. That was my kind of takeaway from Bug Smashers. The community content video they released. Holy crap! Talk about getting me excited. Some of you guys know that I have a tendency to make kind of video game trailers and stuff, so whatever in the past, whatever guild or in this game organization, I tend to do like recruitment trailers for that organization and stuff like that. So the fact I got a chance to mess around with the camera controls a little bit mixed in with my Star Marine play, really cool. However, at the 51-second mark, I'll show it right here, at the 51-second mark, I was kind of curious, where the hell is that? That shot is phenomenal. That's what kind of gets me excited for this whole kind of making some trailers and Star Citizen thing. Where did he actually record that? I don't think I've actually been there. Also, I kind of gotta work with the control. I didn't see a way to lock in a side position, so I haven't played with the camera controls enough. The fact that the community is achieving shots like that, and stuff like the kind of the missile camera trailing the camera trailing the missiles. All that stuff's awesome. It's really cool. The alien languages video. Wow. I mean, this takes me back to all those special features I watched on Avatar and every other xenolinguistic special feature on the films. Isn't it just cool shit? And then there's all these people that actually kind of jump in and learn the language and talk in the language and follow the language. It's just a really cool thing. like why don't you learn Spanish or French? No, I don't want to. I want to learn Klingon. I want to learn Vandul. Anyway, when Britain was talking about taking the kind of possible battlefield tagging, so like tags that maybe soldiers make on the battlefield for whatever reason, taking those tags, and he tried to get in the heads of them, and he was trying to like cut them out, or he tried to like perform whatever that tag would be, and then he cut them out, and he kind of used those as inspiration for the shapes of the letters, like the claw design. When you see the amount of, I'm glad they're exposing. The whole Star Citizen community knows this, but it's fun when they share stuff like this with us. Those are kind of some of the smaller videos. There was also a video on the Banshee system as well. I love these lore videos. You guys, they don't seem to be as popular, but there is a hardcore group that kind of gets into the lore talk, and I happen to be one of them. So I had a few questions on the Banshees video. So now I have some questions for you guys. He mentioned on the one of the jump points on the Banshee system actually leads to, at the time, I can't remember the name of it, Tansa, I forget, but it's the one he mentioned that Adam mentioned that there's a black hole at the center of it. So do we have any? I couldn't find any. Do we have any other information on how Star Citizen's going to handle black holes? Could it, I mean, is it just like you go in there and you're going to get sucked in, all your lights out, literally, metaphorically? Or is there some potential there where it could spit you out in like Easter egg land or something, you know? It's kind of curious. Anyway, I'm wondering if you guys have any more information on the black holes. The whole lore thing about the UPE hiding kind of the jump points to Banshee for what they say was kind of security reasons and stuff like that, but also could be exploited to hide, you know, resources. And the whole kind of court proceeding story around that, the trials, that is just damn good storytelling. So props to the lore team for coming up with that. You got to think about it. Like, who knows? Like, literally, who knows what other storylines, like, the outcome of that particular trial is going to affect in their lore universe. It's just nuts. Like, these guys deserve credit, more credit, and more views on their videos. Banshee 2. The only other question on the Banshee system was from Banshee 2. There's like a secret. It's actually not a question. It's more of the secret irradiated iron planet chunks that were removed from the planet. You better believe that that's going to come back in like a future expansion storyline. It's literally going to be probably like they use those to power a Death Star like contraption or something, like maybe a big weapon or something. Like, think about it. Like, those are powered planet pieces. If you can kind of exploit that power, definitely, I'd be kind of curious to see how that's going to come back. But that's a thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they took pieces of a planet that were irradiated. That's a cool storyline. Anyway, those were kind of some callouts from the Banshee system that I really appreciated. The big video that was released in the last couple weeks was the Town Hall in the Persistent Universe, and that actually came out yesterday, I believe. I do have some questions on this, so this is kind of the main chunk here. Just to comment real quick, the gear approach, how like you need certain gear to get certain places, and that they're using that to kind of naturally gate players into specific areas. I applaud that. That's a smart, non-intrusive way to kind of, well, as they put it, gate people into different areas. you need to earn your gear, like that. You earn that gear. You get the sense of accomplishment around that gear in order to explore deeper. I mean, you get you work for your exploration. You work for stuff like that. So I appreciate that. So good job on that, and not just throwing up level limits or boundary boxes where you can't get past if you don't have a piece of gear. So props for not doing that. Given how the development team is handling large-scale landing areas with queues and flight paths where they could take over the flight of your ship as they gear you into flight, they're preventing like strafing runs and any kind of like exploiting on the larger scale landing zones and cities and stuff like that. So given how they've been very open about how they're handling that, my question to you guys is, do you think there's going to be other ways in which you or your organization is able to influence a city or an outpost, right? It could be perhaps through like political means, for like stifling trade or something like that. But is there something, you think there's a way that you're going to be able to cause, let's just say non-player character NPC behavior in that city or the region, or maybe even a larger region, to act favorably towards you or your organization? That's what I'm kind of curious about. I hope there's got to be something. They're not just gonna. My point is, it'd be really cool if they kind of. I'm not talking about taking over cities. I'm just talking about. It would be really neat if, and even if it was really hard, there would be some sort of manipulation you could do without interrupting. It doesn't even have to interrupt other players, you know what I mean? Like, just because they act favorably toward you, maybe you get discounts on items, or you get faster repairs, or whatever, right? Maybe there's missions that are available. That doesn't hurt the existing player base and what the availability of certain things in that, the availability of certain missions and items and products in that place, but maybe more opens up, right? So it's only additive. That's what I'm wondering about. The disconnections and the logins, how they're handling disconnections and logins, I love the ability to pick up. You and your crew can pick up right where your ship left off. So I don't have to go to a base. I don't have to dock. I don't have to go to some safe area, protected area. I just have to make sure that my ship is in a safe location, meaning it's not currently under attack, meaning after you disconnect, your ship is going to be there for a little bit. So as long as that isn't attacked, we're good. So I love that. That kudos to them. I don't care that they, you can't immediately disconnect and your ship disappears, because that would be exploitable. But as long as we don't have to travel like 30 minutes to get somewhere to log out, that's just gonna that's good. It's invaluable. It's literally invaluable. A lot of games and MMOs take a long time to get to a comfortable position for players to able to log out and stuff like that. There's like rules that they right from the bat they try to put these rules on the player base, right? And it always works against the players. Like why not work with the players? You know what I mean? Make a damn game that works from the ground up and not annoy them in little ways from the beginning. So thank you, Chris, and everybody else who made that decision. It's going to be unbelievably helpful. Quantum Drive, what the hell? Okay, so he kind of talked to it a little bit, and it was like in a very small bit of information comment that he made, but he said they do have plans to make Quantum Drive not automatic for maybe longer Quantum Drive runs. So I'm wondering what the hell. It's not gonna be like a mini game, right? Like, oh, you're gonna break off into a different path if you don't press the A and D key, rapidly rotate them. I hope it's not anything like that. So I hope it's actually, oh my god, like you're gonna need another extra power source, so you need to actually go back, get one out of storage, and pop it in mid-flight. Otherwise, you're gonna drop out of Quantum Drive, right? I hope it's gonna be kind of something like that. If you guys have any more information on that, please let me know. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts on not making Quantum Drive automatic. What do you think he means by that? Or maybe it's already out there documented. So, all right, you guys know me. You guys know like making a name for yourself in a non-combat way is kind of what I've been interested in with Star Citizen, right? Given my Star Wars Galaxies roots. So they talked about farming. There's a specific question about being able to isolate yourself and head out into the universe, find your own little nook, and do your farming peacefully and quietly. Still, there's a threat possibility out there that you could be attacked, but not as big, right? So I could isolate myself, and I could work on one of the skills like farming, and hopefully there's other ones too. I'm curious if there's any possible advantages other than the less interference, as I mentioned, that would give me, right? Like, it would be neat. Like, I was thinking of kind of possible little things they could kind of tie in. For instance, with farming, I was trying to think of an example. Like, for farming, they could maybe like, if you grow within the bounds of a gravity field, maybe the plants grow anywhere from 1.2 times to 3 times faster. You know what I mean? So maybe you find one advantage is you could find this really strong gravitational field right in the middle of nowhere land, and kind of camp out there while you get like a 2.8 times multiplier on your plants growing. Stuff like that. That's why I'm kind of curious if there's going to be stuff like that which would kind of draw you away from selling your goods in main areas or kind of participating in the economy in main areas. Stuff to draw you out into the world, into the universe. I do like the idea of kind of being able to make a product that people want. I'm different. I have a differentiation. There's something there that people want that's not what everybody else produces. And then on top of that, someone has to go through like a mini adventure to come out and visit me just to get the product made, because I'm this hermit living off in nowhere land, but I make the best of something, right? And that kind of excites me, that kind of storyline. The last question I had was on currencies. And again, not so much a question, but it would be interesting to kind of see once they start implementing multiple currencies. Then you got yourselves some sort of buying and selling market, right, for currencies. So you could take a mission that in a certain, or that pays you in a certain currency, and then you end up traveling across the galaxy to sell it. Like, it's just additive stuff, right? That kind of gets me excited too. He mentioned something about trading in. Maybe you could trade them in for UEC currency, but I don't know. I'm just kind of curious how that's going to kind of develop. That's it. That was the kind of majority of questions I had out of this kind of Star Citizen run for the last month. Anybody know? Does anybody know when the RTVs coming back? Usually, I forgot when they stopped. I never looked into when they started last year. I know there's seasons, but I don't know. It's been fun. Star Marine's been fun. Again, I'm not so much a first person shooter guy, but it has been fun. We're all waiting for 3.0, right? Planetary landings. That's what blew me away. That's what drew me in, like that whole mechanic. So can't wait. Yeah, that's it, guys. Side note: since we're on the kind of the broad topic of space games and kind of science fiction, is anybody looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda? I know Part 3, the last series was very polarizing before they released the kind of alternate ending or the additional ending. But I guess that just spoke to the storytelling, right? Like people were just so. I think eventually people just came to terms with it, right? So anyway, I'm ridiculously excited for it. So I'm kind of curious if you guys are kind of excited for it as well, or did Part 3 leave a bad taste in your mouth? And I don't see how it should have, because it was an amazing game, right? And just because it left some things open, I guess, up for interpretation, like I don't know, I guess some people have a problem accepting that. I guess it's a big investment. Video games, these big video games are kind of an investment, time and money, and so anyway, let me know your thoughts on that if you guys are excited about that. Otherwise, I think that's it. I think that covers all the latest content on Star Citizen. If anyone's interested, I'm interested. I want to start taking tours of kind of some of the other ships. So if you guys if there's any ships, particularly if anyone has any kind of the multi-crew ships, and I can kind of tag along for a few hours while they're going about their business, I would love to kind of take a look. Even maybe do a video tour, maybe even stream it or something. So let me know if any of you guys are interested in that. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the comments.